13 others injured.
No words can truly or fully measure the grief of Maine people today.
Governor Janet Mills says no community deserves this. The search continues for suspect Robert Card, a 40-year-old Army reservist and firearms instructor. Just getting word the man suspected of killing a judge in Maryland last week has been found dead today in a heavily wooded area not far from where that shooting happened. Circuit County Judge Andrew Wilkinson was gunned down in his own driveway just hours after he awarded sole custody of the son.
3, 4, and 5. We're live.
Live on Facebook.
Live on
Live
Facebook.
on Facebook.
And
Hold
yeah.
on. And YouTube.
And Twitter.
And Twitter.
Wow. Is
Are we
there
really?
anywhere we're not?
Are we
What?
really?
We're not on Instagram.
Not on Instagram. Okay. Do they allow streaming on
We're
Instagram?
trying to get that to work.
I didn't
we
know.
keep getting denied because I don't really think you can.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, if you figure out how you could live stream on TikTok. Why aren't we doing that?
I don't think we have TikTok.
Well, I've got a
Yeah, I
TikTok.
think you guys
should,
do.
I
Or
should
maybe
live
it's
stream
Reels.
on TikTok. We could set up my tripod right here in this corner and live stream on TikTok every week. I don't know if anybody would watch it, but
Oh, there's 3 people logged on.
3 people already.
Already.
Wow.
They're early.
Are they on WSIC or are they
Maybe all
on
3 of you.
Purple Heart?
Right now, right?
Yeah, you're live, but you're not live. So we're on the Facebook, so they can hear us just on the Facebook. You can
Right.
Talk, anything like that.
Now, if you have to say a curse word, now is the time. Like if you have to get one out.
I don't think you have.
I mean, don't be scared. Tell them you'll wrestle them.
Have you been on the station before? I have not. All right, cool. So your microphone is going to be about a fist
Oh,
away.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so go ahead and get it positioned.
I told any banging of desks won't go over the air, but it will go over the stream because there's nothing to clean that audio up.
Okay.
Right, yeah, so just try not
Those
to
are the
do
only
that
two
part.
things you need to know.
But you do got the face for a radio.
Other than
Yeah.
that, I have cue cards. I'm going to count you guys down to your breaks. You'll hear the music in your headset. We're out early, remember? Not at
Right.
3:59:50. It's 3:59:20. And I'm going to count you down to that for your
3:59:20.
outro. Let me just double check that it's actually there again.
I hope so, yeah.
Yep. Okay, it's actually earlier than that. It's
Hey.
3:59:20.
We got 4 people.
Is that
All
what I said,
right.
20?
You said 20.
Okay, that's when you're off.
Do y'all want me to go Facebook Live?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you can if you want to, but
I mean,
no.
I'm just
No,
saying.
all we're doing is just
We're
you can see it.
watching.
Yeah.
So the main reason we do this to, if people do get on there, we can interact with the 3 people that watch us
You guys
live.
got to read the phone number.
Read the phone number?
Yeah, get some caller interaction.
Well, yeah, what is that phone number?
There you go.
Well, I don't know that we always want it, but today might be the day.
You gonna drive the ship on that?
I will.
And if you read from that, just know that we don't read the AM number anymore. We still broadcast over AM, but we don't know if anybody actually listens to AM.
Nobody listens to Devin either.
Nobody does. Yeah, that's true. I'm fairly certain that, especially my kids.
My daughter's same thing.
They certainly aren't listening to me. I'm trying to. I forgot that we've got a traveler, John Keating from Northeast Ohio chapter is going to try to listen on his way in.
You said he's going to be here around 1800.
Are you gonna
That is
intro
correct.
the show, Devin?
Yes.
Oh, with the voice like he's got.
Oh,
This is Devil Dog Devin.
Great set of pipes he's got.
Oh gosh. Yeah, you want to get all those jokes out with the pipes and the
No,
yeah,
no,
okay.
no. We're gonna keep those coming all day long.
Oh man.
One minute.
1 minute.
Is live.
Tilly Harley Davidson. Whether you're new to Harley or a seasoned pro,
Oh wow, look at you! You're like the fawns over there.
He used the force.
Oh. For those of you watching on Facebook, Joe just hit the door and it just magically closed. I know that Brad would have had a Happy Days reference there, so I gotta do that for him.
Your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Dang, we're more official too. Look, he's actually got cue cards this time.
Wow.
He's breaking out all the stops.
Oh yeah, we're ready to go today.
Breaking out. Yeah.
All right,
Well,
mic's off. Clouds will roll in. We'll have partly cloudy conditions and an overnight low around 54. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Purple Heart Homes presents Putting the Pieces Back Together, a forum for veterans and the community to connect. Here are your hosts, veterans John Gallina and Brad Borders.
oh, out there, it is not John Gallina nor Brad Borders. Who do I got here with me?
You got Andy Sapala.
Andy Sapala, and well, I'm Devil Dog Devin, and we've got a great show for you today. And just to quell those rumors, John and Brad have not been fired. I just want to go on the record of saying that they have not been fired. They're out there doing good things for veterans. So all of those of you who are concerned, they will be back one day.
I don't know. We got 10 viewers so far. I'd like to give a shout out to some of our fans. The Magic Man and El Diablo.
All right, we've already got 10 viewers this far into the episode. For those of you who don't know, we're talking about on Facebook Live.
We lost one since you've been talking though.
Oh. Well, gosh, maybe I better shut up and get to our guest then. So we have a great guest here today. Wahali, how do you say your last name?
Revels.
Revels. I was calling you Rebels.
I'm one of those too.
Oh yeah. Wahali Revels. He is in the local National Guard and a soon-to-be mentor of the Veterans Treatment Court. And we're just going to talk to him today and see what his not expectation. What's the word? I'm not very smart, Andy. Help me out. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know, but you know, he's going to be a great mentor.
He's going to be a great mentor.
He is a great mentor.
So, well, let's get right on into it. Well, Holly, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Wahali Revels. Originally born in Lumberton, North Carolina. Been in Iredell County since 1999. 36 years old, married, no kids, and we live over in Olin. I joined the Army National Guard in 2013, and it was one of the best things I ever did and changed my life forever.
What made you want to join the National Guard?
So in 2013, I was kind of in between jobs and didn't really have a whole lot of purpose or direction, for my life. And then I met a great guy who changed my life forever and told me to, kind of help me get myself in gear. We all know him. His name is retired Sergeant Major Guilford Johnson. I met him through mutual friends. And, he kind of sized me up and said, I think this will be a good choice for you. And it was. I shipped out to a boot camp, and, I just never looked back, really.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you shipped out to boot camp, and what MOS did you end up with? And for those of you who don't know what an MOS is out there in the civilian world, that's your job in the military.
Military Occupational Specialty.
Wow, look at you. This is why we have Andy here today to tell me what these acronyms mean. I'm not very smart. So what was your job out there?
So my MOS, my military occupational specialty, was field artillery. I was a 13 Delta, so I was a fire direction specialist and later a FDC chief once I made sergeant. So, we blew stuff up.
You blew stuff up?
On purpose, not like you.
Yeah, on purpose.
It's not really that was an accident, and I don't really think we should be talking about that on the air. It's the investigation's still
open. Yeah. You might want to wait just a little bit longer. That's like my whole career.
Your whole career, the investigation's still open.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder.
Didn't you have something to do with his career and your career? You were related somehow.
Yeah. So Wahali Rebels was one of my soldiers when I was first sergeant in Charlie Battery. He came from Alpha Battery right after a deployment. So what ended up happening was he was one of those people that got to stay in Alpha Battery, but he accepted a promotion with us, so he came to Charlie Battery.
Wow, I got to say that just like the radio station today, the National Guard must have had slim pickings to put you as the first sergeant.
Yeah, I just had to outlive the rest of them, right?
Outlive the rest of them, and that's how we got on here today. So,
Devin, when you texted me earlier and said Andy, and I responded, "Who is Andy?"
Oh yeah,
that's what I meant. I don't know Andy. I only know Top.
Yeah,
you only know Top.
Yeah, I only know
Top.
Yeah,
Top.
Yeah, and so just so y'all are aware out there, we have a lot of respect for Andy, and I'm just giving him a hard time about that. They certainly were not digging from the bottom of the barrel when they made him first sergeant.
No, they were. They couldn't promote anyone to the position. There was a lot of openings at the time.
Hey, I'm trying to give you a few props here. You gotta let me do that.
Yeah, there was like 3 openings and 3 vacancies and 3 people that could apply for the job.
and nobody wanted to come to Charlie Battery.
And nobody wanted to come to Charlie Battery.
Not as a first sergeant.
I guess Charlie Battery. That was John and Dale's original.
Yeah. So the Outlaws. So what ended up happening was we furled our guidon back in 2005, and we unfurled it back in 2016. So from 11 years we left, and then when we did unfurl it, John came down with the original guidon. Whoops, sorry, I don't think I'm supposed to say that because no one knows he's got the original.
The original guidon.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. We might have to strike that part out.
Investigation still open, folks. Oh man. So it's also my understanding that you went to air assault school.
I did. First Sergeant Sapala Top gave me the opportunity to go to air assault school in 2018 in Fort Benning, Georgia, and it was funny. A lot of guys took a look at me and they said, "You're sending this guy? You're sending this guy? That's the 10 hardest days in the Army." But sure enough, I came back with my wings on my chest and just kind of bowed out and just kind of bragging about myself, proud of myself, really. But
yeah, I mean that's quite the accomplishment.
Yeah,
not a lot of artillery guys get to go to air assault, right? Is that? Help me out here. I don't know much about the Army.
No, so in the National Guard, not many people get to go to air assault at all. And the only ones that would be in the field artillery would be ones that went last minute as a substitution, or even people that were prior service.
Wow, that's really cool. I've not. I know that there's things out there like airborne and air assault and such that National Guard don't get the chance like if you're in regular Army. And the Marines, we don't really get to go to any of those specialty schools hardly at all unless you are infantry. So
there's nothing special about you.
Marines are all well. Actually, you were absolutely right. I was told in boot camp that we were all equally unspecial. So. Oh my gosh. I know that you and Wahali, when I say you, I'm talking to Andy here, were part of a project, and we're going to hear a little bit about that when we come back. You have been listening to Putting the Pieces Back Together, presented by Purple Heart Homes.
More Putting the Pieces Back Together with John Gallina and Brad Borders coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
And during the show.
Mics are on.
Oh, mics are on now.
Mics are on.
Yeah, so nobody
Yeah.
heard that banter. You're safe. You're
Yeah.
safe.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you can talk about that, and then in addition to that, like you can tell how accidentally you were on state active duty, and you got to
Land that
land
helicopter.
that helicopter with the Coast Guard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Coast Guard.
So yeah, you can, not to
Just
be
that
redundant.
So
yeah.
you want to lead him into that story
Bring me in-
when
yeah.
we come back?
We can do that, or we can talk about the
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll do that
Yeah.
project of the week.
start
and
with the
then-
project of the week first.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
yeah.
And that would be great. So one of the things that we sometimes do in the breaks is we ask everybody what their favorite acronym is, because military has so many acronyms. What do you have a favorite acronym? Or
Carrie, there he is talking about acronyms again.
I feel like he's trying to bait me into saying something that I'm not supposed to say on the radio.
I almost bit it. Did y'all see that? For all of those out there in Facebook land, we might do a blooper reel.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that one all over again.
Should I mention the community yard sale?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah,
Are you guys coming?
He will be here.
I will be here. I don't think anybody else will be. It's that everybody else is going to be at that golf tournament tomorrow, and probably a little tuckered out. But
I'll be doing I'll be at Purple Heart Homes working.
that is true. I do notice that you're in there an awful lot when I come by.
Yeah.
Do you want to bring us back? Or?
No, you can. You got it. You got the voice for radio. This is Devil Dog Devin. Charlie, I know you and Aunt Tammy are happy that he's got a hat on so you can see the.
Oh yeah. You can't. They said I had a halo.
Yeah, not for a devil dog.
30 seconds.
I think they were just talking about the reflection of the light. I didn't have an actual halo. I'm a little sad.
Well, they said that the halo is supposed to signify an angelic person over you. So.
Oh, over me, because I
guess.
need some guidance
Probably.
and help in life. Not that I personally own the halo. I understand.
So many wrong decisions.
I don't think that most of those are FCC friendly.
Thanks for going off.
Back together with John Gallina and Brad Borders on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
You're listening to Putting the Pieces Back Together with Devil Dog Devin and Andy Sapala, as Brad Borders and John Gallina are in hiatus today. If you've missed any part of this broadcast, you can catch it on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and anywhere where you get your podcasts. So we're going to get back to it. I think today we're going to talk about the project of the week with Andy, and our guest was actually involved with that. So, hey, Andy, why don't you tell us what you remember about our project?
I remember, actually, it was August of last year. Stephen Johnson, he started mentioning, hey, what would be a cool deal would be if Charlie Battery, some of us older people, would get together and help with the project with Purple Heart Home. So we started planning that in August during a breakfast. We had a get-together, and we had probably about 5 or 6 people, and Rebels, he was there also, and I guess Rebels been at a lot of the projects. The project took place in Cool Springs for Billy Stacy, a Navy guy, so having to take care of a squid, in Cool Springs, and there it is Rebels there. He's got his own, his little belt, work belt and all that other stuff. A DeWalt.
Yeah, I got picked on for using DeWalt tools that day because everybody else was carrying Craftsman. Red. I got called Yellow Tools because they had
it was
red
Milwaukee,
tools.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had red tools. I had yellow tools. I got called Yellow Tools. All
I
day.
didn't even bring tools. You know what I mean? All I was a cheerleader.
I was on that project too, and I did not use any tools. I believe that's.
You didn't. So in all honesty, so the project, we can't call this a project. Magic Man would be disappointed because it wasn't a project because you didn't buy us lunch.
Oh.
So it's not official. So you cannot classify that as a project.
Well, Statesville McDonald's did provide breakfast that day.
Yeah.
They did.
So that was really
But
awesome.
Purple Heart Homes,
Oh yeah, well,
Devil Dog Devin did it.
That was not under the purview of what I do or did at that time, and so I'm sorry that you did not get breakfast. I will take that up with the.
No, it was lunch. We didn't get lunch.
Excuse me, lunch.
Working me like a dog. You know what I mean?
But what is important is that that Mr. Stacy did get the help he needed, and y'all did a great job out there. You put together that ramp in one day, and just getting to see that fella come down the ramp, and he was able to do it under his own. By himself, that he could. I think he believed he used a walker to get up and down, but you could tell that it really made him feel good in order to do that himself instead of having to depend on his wife and his daughter. And I really appreciate y'all coming out there, and Charlie Battery for helping. So thank y'all both for doing that.
Yeah, it was nice seeing him to be able to have his independence. And one thing is. Stephen wanted to make sure that he got out there, tried it out for us before we even left. And we got to take a picture with him and, see the pride in him. I know we're talking about one project, but, Rebels, well, Holly, you've done a lot of projects with Purple Heart Homes alone.
They, Devil Dog Devin and, the gang, everybody at Purple Heart Homes is really good about just contacting me or reaching out to me. They know where I live, and they're like, they'll say, hey, we've got a project going on 5 minutes from your house, 10 minutes from your house. Would you be interested? Well, I'm not going to say no to that. We did a project up in Harmony back in the summer, and we also built a ramp for a veteran. Yesterday we set up a flagpole over in off of Old Mountain Road. Yeah, but it's just super rewarding, and as a veteran, if we don't help each other, who's gonna?
Absolutely, that's well said. Hey, and if anybody out there is interested in helping Purple Heart Homes with their projects, whether that be physically or monetarily, go to phhusa.org. Again, that's phhusa.org. Help however you can. It means a lot to both the veteran and their families. So we want to thank y'all for that. So Wally, why don't you tell us a funny story of something that happened to you while you're serving the country?
Well, the best story that I can think of, like from the start of my military career, 2013, I shipped out to basic training in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and I get there. And y'all know how basic training goes. There are a lot of different events. There might be rifle, like marksmanship, there's grenades, there's bugle sticks, and things like that. And, you can receive guidons for doing, your platoon can receive guidons for doing well in those events, And we were doing pretty well. And we got to Combatives Day, like ground defense day. I'm a wrestler, been a wrestler my whole life, high school, college, like it's my thing. I love it. Yeah, I know it's not for everybody, but
now, that's like the not the kind where they grease you up or anything like that.
Not WWE, like folk style wrestling.
Top rope.
He was a wrestler, not a wrestler.
Not a
Okay,
wrestler.
all right.
Yeah,
I just want to clarify.
Yeah. Well, like NCAA, you know what I mean? High school folk style wrestling.
Collegiate kind of.
There you
go.
go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was just what I did growing up. And like I said, we had all these events in basic training, you know what I mean? And we're getting a couple of guide-ons. We're not getting all the guide-ons, you know what I mean? So we had a combatives day because in basic, they teach you ground defense. And I'm kind of rolling around with the drill sergeant, and he's struggling, you know? You know what I mean?
Hey, but to break into the story, he wrestled collegiately, and he did wrestle in high school.
Do you not know enough to let the drill sergeant win?
No, it's my pride.
He's hard-headed.
It's my pride, 100%. I'm not going to let him win. No, and you know, the troops, all the guys that I've been, you know, going through basic with, they're kind of picking up on what's going on, and they're like, drill sergeant, you know, like why don't you roll with rebels, you know? And he's like, okay, you know, and it was just on, you know what I mean?
Gosh.
Oh yeah, and you gotta imagine this is like 6-7 weeks of just pent up frustration.
Oh yeah, you had it in for him.
Oh yeah. And I've got 100 screaming privates all around me, like, yeah, you know, and I choked him out. I mean,
Wait, you choked out your drill sergeant?
I did. I did. And during combatives training, not just. You know,
I think that's the opposite of how that's supposed to go.
Probably so.
So were you a first-time go?
Yeah. Well, he liked it. He was excited.
Oh no shit!
Oh.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first time I have slipped up on air.
Well,
oh man!
Like I said, drill sergeant got excited because he's like, "We're gonna have a combatives tournament, and you're gonna represent us at heavyweight." And
No kidding.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah, careful, language.
I walked through that tournament like, you know, it was like an 8-man tournament, 3rd platoon, 2nd platoon, 1st platoon. I was representing 4th platoon, and I just breezed through that tournament, choked out every one of those guys.
Wow!
And wound up getting honor graduate out of it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't believe you. Can you just demonstrate that on Devil Dog
whoa,
Devin?
whoa.
See if you can choke him out.
I'm sorry. This is a radio broadcast.
Like I said,
it just really wouldn't translate well.
Hey,
you know.
we got 8 viewers that might want to see that. Just let them gasp for air a little bit.
Oh man, you know, I think that he probably has a little bit more frustration pent up against his first sergeant. I don't know.
Maybe.
He may. Yeah.
I mean, we still talk though daily, you know, every few days. So
I'll tell you what. If you want to see one of us get choked out, we're taking donations.
Whoever gets the most gets choked out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to raise at least, what do you think, a minimum of $1,000, and so let it add up, and this is the challenge right here. Who does Wally get to choke out?
Hey, we do have someone that says, yes, I want to see that.
Oh my gosh.
Cheryl, who do you want to see get choked out? How much are you willing to donate?
Yeah.
Well, you know, we're going to be going to break soon, so, you know, maybe after the break you can also tell them how during your first deployment that you wrestled against a MMA Hall of Famer also.
Yeah, yes, I will. I'm more than happy to share that.
Yeah,
and that time I got choked out. So.
Oh, did you actually get
I
choked out?
Oh yeah. I mean, I hung in there, but.
I mean, but you did get choked out by a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was an honor to be choked out by Matt Hughes.
Well, I mean, yeah. So who? That was Matt Hughes.
It was Matt Hughes, yeah.
That's a pretty famous MMA guy,
He was
right?
a UFC welterweight champion.
Oh my gosh.
And I was on my first deployment in Bahrain, 2015, 2016. And for people who don't know, MWR, they do tours. They do tours and they come around to the troops.
We got $5 for you. Oh no, money to be determined. So I guess. Yeah, sorry, I got my glasses on.
So this is kind of like the same thing as if you'd have a band or something like that come around, like a USU.
Yep.
Tour kind of thing.
It was, and. And I knew Matt Hughes was there.
Don't go too much into detail because we got to get it to where they're
Oh, yeah.
ready for it. You know
yeah.
what I mean? You got to build them up.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, we're
Before
going to
the
leave
radio
this on a
break.
cliffhanger because we got about 30 seconds. So, Wally, you build that up a little bit. We're going to come in with the big finish.
Yeah, the choking out Devin. Money
We're
to
not-
be determined.
Money to be determined. Hey, everybody, you are listening to Putting the Pieces Back Together, presented by Purple Heart Homes. We'll be right back after these messages.
Putting the Pieces Back Together with John Gallina and Brad Borders will return after this short break on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
And then and that's just in. Now the mics are
So,
live.
so Joe did. We got a phone call.
I think that might be the station owner calling to yell at you.
Is it?
Let me see who it is.
I know who it is.
You do?
I do. Put them on.
Go for it.
Is this Matt Stevenson?
Yes, it is.
Do we got to put the headphones on?
Yeah. You got to put the headphones on. All right. Well, hello there. So there was a debate about what to call you. For all of our listeners at home or Facebook watchers, this is Matt Stevenson,
Jason.
Director of Program Services at Purple Heart Homes, and yeah. So what is your mini names? Can you tell us a few of your mini names, Matt?
Jason.
Well, depending upon the day, but so yes, I go by Matt and other aliases where I had earned the moniker of when I was in service of Doc, and then I also have my first name, which a lot of times in service we utilize our first name, which is Jason. And then ultimately one day we sometimes got kind of confused around here, and someone, I think it might have been Brad, he combined two of them and just started calling me Mason. So about 4 or 5 different aliases. Well, there's another one out there I wasn't aware of. So, but no, I was just giving a call, just check in on you guys and stuff, and see if I could bring in more excitement since, Brad and John's out doing great things for veterans today.
Absolutely, that's true. And when we come back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit about what Brad's doing and also how Wahali's involved in that. We certainly appreciate you calling, Jason, Matt, Doc, Stevenson.
You forgot Mason.
That's all right.
Mason.
Don't forget Mason.
All right, guys. Well, y'all take care, okay?
Okay.
All right. We'll see you.
All right, see you, brother. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Oh man, we should just do that every week during the break. Have a different Purple Heart Home employee call in just to say hello.
Yeah.
Just to give our Facebook listeners a little extra special treat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And maybe even Wahali could call in sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, on my iPhone 4.
iPhone 4.
Hey, so you said that if we tell you about a project, you're just there.
I mean,
Depending
Yeah,
upon.
yeah, depending on my day. And
What are you doing tomorrow?
wind up-
You're not it.
I wind up at a golf tournament.
You're
Or
going to be at the golf tournament?
Or community yard sale, huh?
Yeah. I've got to be at a project this weekend. One of our great grant partners, Los Distribution, is going to be doing a fence for our tiny home that we just put out there.
Awesome.
It's going to be a rental property for a veteran at a lowered cost, and it's going to be great. So Lowe's has just done such a great job supporting us. That distribution warehouse. I know so many of those guys out there on the maintenance staff. I worked with them, alongside them for a few years before I came over here as a contractor. So I want to give a special shout out and thanks to those folks, and So if you are not busy tomorrow, not going to the golf tournament, you can come help put up a fence. But I completely understand.
Where's it at?
I don't know if I want to say on the air, so I don't want random people showing up at that
you can tell me
particular
off air.
project. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Oh, I need to.
We're about to get back on the radio.
I need to talk about. I need to talk about how I got engaged.
How you got engaged?
Yeah, that's fun. Some people might find that funny.
I thought the wedding pictures were really funny.
Why'd you think those were funny?
All the guns?
Oh yeah. Whatever. I thought we looked.
Yeah.
Good.
No, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're welcome to talk about that, and we'll finish out this story, and if you want to go into that, and then
What time's this end?
The show or
Yeah,
the next break?
the show.
The show ends at 3:59:20.
How long will it take you to choke them out?
oh my gosh,
Not long. Not long. Oh, look. Hey,
Do it.
sponsorship.
Great content.
Great
you know,
content.
Somebody
You ever
bid.
been choked out
Somebody
before?
bid $5.
No, it wasn't. It said money to be
Top-tier
determined.
Money to
To
be.
speak with John Gallina and Brad Borders at 704-873-1400. It's Putting the Pieces Back Together on WSIC.
Hello, everyone. You're listening to Putting the Pieces Back Together, presented by Purple Heart Homes on WSIC News Talk. And we were just talking with our you got tears in your eyes. Is it
I'm
that
laughing.
funny?
Yes.
like I can see the grin on
Yeah,
your.
yeah.
They're trying to
It's
get me
hilarious.
choked out over here, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, money to be determined. I already said $5.
it's going to take a lot more than $5 for me to agree to this.
But it's for the veterans.
It is for the veterans.
And for the content.
But I am also a veteran, and I don't particularly want to be choked out. We got to make it worth our while. You know?
I'll
It's
give $5. I mean, I got you a free water from Hardee's. What else do you want? But enough about choking out Devin. But if we do get some money coming up here, we might have to do it. Hey, so Rebels, back to you.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's
I don't
hear-
think you could choke him out. I think you're lying.
Let's
Liar.
hear about the time that you got choked out by an MMA fighter. For those of you who are listening, he was our guest, Wahali Revels, was just telling us a story how he had a bout with a professional MMA guy.
Hey, we got $1.50 from Charlie for Devin. It's more money for the veterans.
Oh my gosh.
Raising money for vets.
How much are you going to give us?
So, Wahali, what about that?
All right. We're laughing right now, but he has.
He's laughing at you. He's laughing at you.
That's what he does. He's
Oh,
the
yeah,
promoter. He has promoted me to fight people before.
He's in. Yeah,
That's
is he like
another-
your boxing manager? Like,
Yeah.
He does.
I gotta
look
get him
like-
crunk.
Who was that? Don
King.
Don
Yeah.
King. He's your Don King.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you an afro wig, but it's gonna be a rainbow kind.
It's because of them all. There.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to say anything. Hey, I was told that I had to wear a hat today because the light kept reflecting off my head, and it was distracting the Facebook viewers. So,
Hey, do you think we can do a live a vote for who wants Devin to be choked out? So far, we got two for Devin.
it's not a vote.
Wait, three. I'm sorry, my vote counts.
Oh my God!
Four.
Wow, the engineer.
Even the radio station.
I really should stop giving the engineer such a hard time. He's
I don't think he
he's
can do
voting
it.
for me to get choked out as well.
It'd be the only time you'll ever see him be quiet.
I'm telling you, this is what he does. He hypes me up, and I'm,
I don't think you can do it.
like he said,
I
I'm
never seen you do
hard-headed.
it.
Oh
so
yeah,
I'm not smart enough to realize that I'm being manipulated.
Well,
Neither so are
I
you.
understand that. I feel that pain. I may have been manipulated
Hey,
to a few things.
yeah,
myself.
I know something that you've been manipulated about, but we won't talk about on the radio station.
Whoa!
So, hey, back to you getting choked out. You know, enough about Devil Dog Devin.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
So my first deployment in Bahrain, 2015, 2016, I was with Alpha Battery. So we were sent to Bahrain on a naval base in southern Bahrain. But the USO, they were kind of making they were making a trip. You know, they hit a couple other countries. They hit like Kuwait, they hit Qatar, I think, and they came to Bahrain. Well, usually it's like, cowboy cheerleaders or, Redskin cheerleaders or some kind of professional cheerleaders, or, they'll do concerts sometimes. Well, this time they had Matt Hughes, and he was going around and he was, meet and greeting with the troops, and, only a meathead like me would rather meet Matt Hughes than meet the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. You know what I mean? It was really big of him and really awesome of him. I've always felt like, because to me it was just a dream come true, because I never in my wildest dreams imagined that I understand that he would meet you,
right?
But I was like, can we roll with you guys? And they're like, buddy, if you want to. And I'm hard-headed, so I'm like, oh yeah, I want to.
No kidding. So when you were saying that you tussled with him once, I was thinking you were like in a tournament or something and he happened to be there, but no, you knew who he was and you sought it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's video footage.
Yeah, I've got a video on my Facebook, because I wasn't gonna let that happen and not take a video.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyway, I had fight. He choked me out, absolutely. But I had fight of the night because I lasted with him longer than anyone. And my claim to fame is, after I got my photo taken with him and everything, and said, "Thank you for doing this. It's a dream come true to meet you." He's like, "Absolutely, man." And he looks at me. He's like, "By the way, where you from?" So I knew I had gotten in his head a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was North Carolina. And he was like, all right, But I knew that I'd gotten in his head a little bit, because he didn't ask anybody else, "Hey, where are you from?" No, it was about me.
Yeah, he wanted to know where his competition was coming from.
Yeah, he's like, where's this guy that came from nowhere? But, I mean, like I said, it was a dream come true for me, and it all happened because of the military. He signed a pair of wrestling shoes for me. I still got them. You couldn't pry them away from me.
Oh, wow.
And they're priceless, because those are the shoes that I wrestled Matt Hughes in. And again, it all happened because I joined the military.
Wow, that's an awesome story. That really is. And so you were telling us a little bit during the break that you're also married, but maybe you had an interesting engagement story as well.
Yeah, absolutely. My wife and I have been together since 2010, and she has been my rock in this life. Ellie Revels, everybody knows her, everybody loves her.
That's the reason why we love Rebels.
Yeah, right. But if you don't know, well, you two know, but you don't serve as an individual, you serve as a family.
Absolutely.
And she and I started dating in 2010. I joined in 2013, so she was with me through all of it, And I got orders for my first deployment 2015, 2016, and I'm kind of scrambling, moving money around, making sure, everything's going to get paid, and, and I'm asking her, I'm like, now you can handle all this, and, and she finally looked at me and she said, "Well, Holly, I am not sitting around here waiting on you, taking care of your bills for a year on a maybe."
Oh, sounds like an ultimatum right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It absolutely was. So
the best mistake she ever made.
Yeah. Don't remind her. Don't remind her. So yeah, that next day I went and got her engagement ring.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a funny story too.
I thought she was gonna say, you're telling her to make sure she gets all the bills. I work at a bank. Trust me, I don't know what
Oh, she work at a bank?
Yeah, she does.
So wait, you were trying to tell your fiance, who works at a bank.
They weren't even fiancés yet.
Oh, your girlfriend.
Yeah.
That how to pay bills and how to manage your money.
Well, just to move it around so that when I got home, my house didn't have a foreclosed sign on. You know what I mean? Just things like that. And I mean, it was, yeah, obviously looking back, it was silly, but I guess, she was, tapping her feet like, when you going to ask me? When you going to ask me? And, like I said, I'm hard-headed and stubborn, and it just went completely over my head like, oh, yeah, I should probably do that. Before I leave you for a year, I should probably ask you to be my wife. And I did, and she said yes.
That is absolutely awesome, brother. Well, so we're gonna We're going to go to a break here in just a little bit, but before we do, for all of you who don't know, we're having a annual golf tournament. What is it? The Purple Heart Home Fall Golf Classic. Is that right?
Yes.
And that's going to be at Rocky River Golf Course down in Concord. I think most of the spots are full, but if you just want to come out there and support Purple Heart Homes this weekend, it'd be a great time. And so it's just a great chance to meet a lot of veterans and folks that are supporting us. And if you would like to support us, you can always go to phhusa.org. What's that dollar?
All for the veterans.
For the veterans.
So I got another $1 for Holly to choke you out. We're up to $2.50 and a to be determined.
Oh my gosh, $2.50 and a to be determined. Now that's $2.50, not $250 for our listeners, right? Oh my gosh. All right, hey, you're listening to Putting the Pieces Back Together. We'll be right back.
There's more Putting the Pieces Back Together with John Gallina and Brad Borders on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Worth it.
Hey, you know what? Maybe if we would have had, Don or, donor relations. That's a good idea. We can put it on the Facebook and get donor relations to, do a campaign. How long do you think it would take you?
Wait. Am I participating in a wrestling match here?
I don't think so.
I don't think I am.
He don't need much room.
Choked out.
He don't need much room.
Yeah, it's not happening.
We donate the amount that we get fined for.
How much would
I'm pretty sure they don't fine you for one little. Did I even get
the second slip up?
Did I do it twice?
No, guess.
Oh.
A couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Oh.
How much do you think the fine's going to be?
No, there's not going to be a fine.
Zero?
Actually, you can.
Hey, you should have said $50, man.
I should have said 1,000 or something.
And then we could have just choked him out.
You know what? Let me call Justin real quick. See what he.
Oh yeah.
Call and say, hey, I mean, when's the last time you choked someone out?
Choke him out. All right.
Ain't been that long.
When's the last time you choked somebody out?
Ain't been that long, probably.
Oh
You think
my
you still know how to do
gosh.
it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You sure?
That'd be great. content.
Well, then he can choke you out.
He likes me.
It'd be great. content.
So, but I'm telling you, he's a promoter, right?
Yeah.
Right.
so
Yeah. It's
He hyped me up to break the battalion commander's leg.
He wasn't the battalion commander.
Not at the time. He
He's
became the
still not the
battalion.
battalion commander.
What is he? The S3.
He was the S3.
Wait,
And
are
he
we
didn't
talking
break
about
his
Tim
leg.
Mangum?
No,
Mangum?
no. This was Brad Bullen.
Oh,
Yeah,
I told
Bullen.
no. So I said, and then at the end of it, I'm like, hey, sir, you don't want to do that, right? He's like, I'll be okay. And then he comes back and he's broke.
He was good.
He's broke. He had to get surgery on his knee.
He did.
wait. You got the S3 to agree to this?
Yeah, he used to wrestle in high. I used to wrestle in high school. Hey,
Oh, my gosh.
We're all like, don't do it. I just got hyped up. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, you were
know,
just
I'm just
getting-
famous.
You were
I get
just
it
poking
started.
the bear
I poke
over
the bear,
there.
and then
Yeah.
I leave.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Nothing. I was just gonna say that didn't he become the battalion anyway?
Not yet.
That made me infamous across the battalion.
Yeah.
Everybody knew who Rebels was then.
Did anyone buy you lunch? Say,
I was
hey.
getting high fives and fist bumps and
High fives and fist bumps for.
And then Alpha Battery had a battery commander, and he wrestled them. He did MMA. He put on the board on his door, hey, anyone have a problem, we can settle it like this. I was like, hey, is that go for him? He wouldn't do it.
Oh no!
And
Oh
then he
no!
would say, it's they were in different weight classes.
Mike's
All right.
off.
Putting the Pieces Back Together continues now. Here are your hosts, John Gallina and Brad Borders on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to Putting the Pieces Back Together. You are listening to our guest. Well, I've forgotten your name again. Revels.
Hey,
I keep wanting to say Rebels.
Wahali.
he didn't forget your
Holly-
name. You got him scared, man. You got him scared.
I'm shaking.
Look, hey, you can't read double dog.
Actually, I can't. I've said it many times.
You're in his
I'm not
mind,
very
man.
bright.
You're in his mind. Just like Matt Hughes.
Hype man.
Hype man.
Hype man.
Yeah.
So, hey, now let's take it to a more serious note. There's a reason that Brad Borders is not with us today. He is out there at the Veterans Treatment Court. And my understanding is that you are going to start being a mentor over there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I am. The goal is to be a mentor in the Veterans Treatment Court, and Brad presented the opportunity to me a couple of weeks ago. I was not aware of the program, but for the people that don't know, here in Iredell County, Iredell County courts have sort of worked with Purple Heart Homes, as I understand it, to offer a veteran treatment court for veterans who have kind of lost their way or gotten themselves into a little bit of trouble after getting out of the service. And it's really a second chance kind of program, you know. So if they're a veteran and they wound up in the court system for whatever reason, they take these classes, they get on their probation or whatever, and they sort of go up under the wing of another veteran, a mentor, which is what I'm taking classes to be. And if they, you know, keep up with all their community service and probation parole and keep checking in with their mentors from VTC, then they get their charges expunged. So
Wow, that's awesome.
Do they actually expunge them, or will they drop them?
they drop them.
Oh, that's
they
pretty
drop
cool.
them. Yeah, I misspoke. Yes, they drop them.
They drop.
So
but-
yeah, it's a
but
great
still.
program because, you know, it happens all the time. You know, guys lose their way, veterans, and because of their service, they're given a second chance. And Brad Borders, Chap, as I affectionately call him, short for chaplain, he's kind of front running this, and that's why he's there right now, and he's doing an outstanding job. So if you're a veteran who like to be involved in something like that, give him a call.
Yeah, and so just so y'all know out there that are listening, that may be listening on this on podcast or YouTube or somewhere else,
Or WSIC.
or WSIC. Well, those folks that are not in the listening area of WSIC, this program is available in numerous areas, and if you don't have it in your area, there's ways to get it started. So if you contact Brad Borders, he would be happy to show you that way, because it's a really great program. My understanding is, I'm going to say this wrong, is it non-recidivism rate is 80%? Is that right?
I don't know. All I'm really thinking about is Wahali. No. Wahali, he went to Veterans Treatment Court the first day, and they come talk to him. They're like, "Hey, what you doing here?" they thought he was one of the people that were going in front of
They thought I was a mentee,
Yeah,
not a mentor.
Yeah.
You got a certain look to you. I don't know.
So,
like you might have started the trouble there.
Not everyone can see this, but if I can get your attention, our studio on air phone number is 704-873-1400. We'd like to hear from somebody to see if they want to see someone get choked out.
We would not.
So I guess you could also call 844-STUDIO-4. I say again, 844-STUDIO-4. And for those devil dogs and Marines out there,
Oh, my
studio
gosh.
is spelled STUDIO. Hold on a second. Let me say it slower. STUDIO-4. Hey, so
You're having a lot of fun with that. That's
no, I'm gonna have a lot of fun when I'm like cheering them out. Yeah, I might even throw a kick in there or something like that.
You're gonna get tased at the office later.
So another story about Rebels. You know, he got to talk about him being air assault qualified. He actually got to go do a pretty cool thing that I've never really ever witnessed before.
Yes. I think what First Sergeant Paula is referring to is the state active duty mission.
That's correct.
In 2000, was that 2018?
I think so.
Late 2018. I was with Charlie Battery at the time, and we were all put on standby. Then we were all activated to state active duty out east towards Kinston, North Carolina. and people had lost their homes. You know, the hurricane, I think it was Hurricane Matthew, and people had lost their homes, been evacuated, and you know, they were just get everybody out of there. You know, they took school buses and just bust people out of there. But they sent us in to, you know, fix up the roads, and you know, we offered relief to the people who stayed. We brought them meals and things like that. Well, a UH-60, a Black Hawk from the Coast Guard, had been called in to assist in this relief, you know, because the Coast Guard, they were there. And they called in a Black Hawk from Elizabeth City. And I'm off, and I'm in the, they had found like a community center for us to live in and set up all our cots and things like that.
Hey, well, Holly, not trying to like cut you short, but kind of speed it up because we are trying to get him choked out before the end of the show.
Well, I'm sitting there asleep on my cot. I have somebody come wake me up, and they're like, Rev, we need you. Well, I'm like, what's going on? They said Coast Guard's bringing in a helo. They're bringing in a bird. I was like, cool. Like, what's that got to do with me? You know, it's the Coast Guard. And they're like, you are the only person here qualified to ground guide this helicopter in. And no joke, it was just me. And I'm out there like just doing as best I can with my hand signals and bringing them in. And it was such an amazing experience. You know, I got on the phone and started calling people, and I was just so pumped up. Not that I could help, and that I got to use some of my training that a lot of people never get to use.
Wow, that is amazing. And so we've got about 5 minutes left in our show this week. And I don't know if y'all know this, but Putting the Pieces Back Together has been going for 99 episodes. This is the 99th episode. Did y'all know that?
No, I did not. Which
makes I'm not good at math. What comes after that?
The century mark.
The century.
100.
100. Oh my! It's gonna be an extravaganza.
Are you gonna have like poppers and all that stuff?
I don't know. Maybe we
cake?
we gotta figure that out. Maybe that's where you could figure out how much money you could raise to do. But in all seriousness, next week is going to be our 100th episode, and both Brad Borders and John Gallina are going to be back in studio. I know it's crazy.
Are you going to be in studio too?
I may be in studio. I don't know. They may even invite. They might invite the whole crew. I don't know. How many people are we allowed to have in this studio?
5.
5 is not including you. Just 5. How many can we have standing outside the glass?
I got to talk to the
fire marshal. So we're gonna have as many people in this studio as we can for next week. But in all seriousness, Colonel Tillman will be here or be live on Zoom, and so he doesn't count as the 5 because he's going to be Zoom. He's going to be a great guest. But it's been a bit of a sabbatical for John, right? Was he been here?
It's been like 3 weeks now, hasn't it?
I think so. I'm starting to get nervous. Did
he flies back tonight?
Oh man, yeah. The rumors are not true. The rumors are not true. Brad and John have not been fired. I do want to put that out there.
That is true. They have not been fired.
So we've got a minute and a half left. Wally, is there anything else that you want to tell everybody out there in Radio Land? Or
I want to tell y'all that I appreciate y'all having me on the show. How much I enjoyed my time in service. It was one of the best things I ever did, and it gave me a brotherhood with gentlemen like you and all of Purple Heart Homes, and thank them so much for what they do, and that's why I like to volunteer with them. I myself now am in real estate with Tar Heel Realty, and that also gives me an opportunity to help veterans. And overall, I want to let everyone know that our community is all that we have, and we can count on each other if we can't count on anyone else.
That's awesome. And you said you're at Tar Heel Realty. How would somebody go about contacting you?
You can contact me at 704-657-7264. Or find me on Facebook. I'm the only Wahali you know.
Well, that's great. We're coming to a close now. I just want to thank you for coming in today. Andy, thank you for coming in
For
here.
bearing last minute.
And trying to get me choked out live on air on the radio. And
we can't do Joe.
Why can't we do Joe?
Because if I go down, nobody's running the show.
Who's going to run the show?
Wow, that's true. I mean,
He's not wrong.
There's buttons there. I could push them or something.
Strategic thinking.
Hey, everyone, you've been listening to Putting the Pieces Back Together, presented by Purple Heart Homes. Have a wonderful day.
You've been listening to Putting the Pieces Back Together, brought to you by Purple Heart Homes. Please consider making a donation to this worthwhile cause dedicated to improving the lives of veterans one home at a time by visiting purplehearthomesusa.org. Join us again next Thursday at 3 p.m. for Putting the Pieces Back Together on WSIC News Talk Now.
The new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.